Group has claimed responsibility for a hack exposing personal information of every driver's license holder in the state of Louisiana. The extortion gang CIOP targeted MoveIt software, which is used by Louisiana Driver's License Office to transfer large digital files. Scott Augenbaum is a retired FBI supervisory special agent and the author of The Secret to Cybersecurity, and he joins us live now. Scott, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate that. To get a little deeper into the story, the Louisiana Governor, John Bel Edwards, saying this: his staff believes everyone with a driver's license, an identification card, or a car registration issued by the state had their names, addresses, social security numbers exposed. Obviously, you don't want that. This same software is also used by the BBC and British Airways, raising concerns now among security experts like yourself about the possibility of future hacks. So can you talk about how this happens? And again, do you know anything about this Russia-linked group?
When are we going to stop talking about these things? You know, every day it just seems like there's another thing that's going on. And now, we have another group that has gotten in and has stolen this information. How does this happen? As we rely more and more on technology, there are vulnerabilities in technology, and it's a game of race, and the cyber criminals are really exploiting this. And I hate to say it, a lot of this stuff we really don't have any control over. And I know that kind of sounds really hopeless, but I always talk about having a cyber secure mindset. There are a lot of things that I'd like to talk about that you can do and all the viewers can do to prevent themselves from being victimized, because we don't have control. They stole our stuff.
Well, I'm confused just why in 50 states, Louisiana, I wonder why that one was targeted. Perhaps there were weaker securities in place, and that's just speculation. But the office of Louisiana governor is shedding some light on this for us in terms of the severity of the attack, which that is good. And he says this, quote, "There is no indication at this time that cyber attackers who breached MoveIt have sold, used, shared, or released the OMB data obtained by the MoveIt attack. The cyber attackers have not contacted state government, but all Louisianans should take immediate steps to safeguard their identity." So the cases are notoriously difficult to prosecute here. Can you talk about law enforcement here and maybe why they have such a hard time holding hackers accountable? You kind of touched on that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the cyber criminals are located over in Russia. In this case, they're in Russia, China, Iran. We don't have control over that. Even back in the days, in the early 2000s, when we had good diplomatic relationships with Russia, it was hard. But let's talk about a couple of things that we all should be doing right away. Because the bad guys are going to get in. Let's just assume that they steal all of our information, which my information is stolen many times. Freeze your credit. Contact the credit bureaus to make sure the bad guys can't access your social security number to open up credit accounts. Don't use the same password for mission critical accounts. Make sure we're using two-factor authentication, and right now realize that the cyber criminals are going to send everyone an email. I guarantee you, in the next couple of days, we're all going to probably get an email that's going to look like it's coming from our state's DMV saying that we've been victimized. So what do? We think before we click. We think before we act. There's a lot of things we don't have control over, but with the cyber secure mindset, there's a lot of steps we can take to stay safe and not spend money.
All right. Don't be so quick to click. Scott Augenbaum joining us live. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Scott, good to see you. Thanks.
Thank you again.